for a lot of people, they just hear the word leasehold and just think, okay, that's not for me. But that shouldn't always necessarily be the case. So the main difference for a freehold property, with freehold, you own the property itself, a little bit of the airspace, and you own the actual land that it sits on. Leasehold property, you own the property, so you actually own the building, but you don't own the land that sits on. That's owned by the freeholder, which can be anything from, I've seen them be an individual, I've seen them be a great big company, but it basically means that you don't own the land that property sits on. So with any leasehold property, you'll have what's called a lease term, which is basically a period of time of when that lease will expire. Some are 999 years, some are 25 years. In theory, what happens is once that clock ticks down to zero, that person now can take ownership of that property, and that's why it has a little bit of a bad reputation. But they're simple to manage. For houses, if you have a leasehold property, the only time it can really cause you any sort of like significant damage is anything below around about 70 years left of the lease. No bank will want to lend on it, so you can really only get offers from cash buyers only. But with an apartment or with a house, there is options to extend the lease. So obviously everyone is going to prefer a freehold property, but if you do see a property when you're scrolling Rightmove and it's an absolutely perfect price, but the only difference being the leasehold, I'll still encourage anyone to go and view it. There might be options for you to extend the lease. There might be options for you to actually buy the freehold, so turning it from a leasehold to a freehold property. You've got a ton of options when it comes to that.